Hey there, Johnny Daniel, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. How are you? It is 7, I think it might be 01 now. I'm looking at my hair. Anyways, 7:01 on Wednesday evening. So for tonight, we are going to be seeing the new Eden's Garden. And as you see, I got flowers behind me. So are you ready to walk through the garden? I hope so. So for tonight's the instructions, I don't think I'm going to actually do instructions. I think what I'm going to do is do a listing of, because there's I think 3 or 4 projects tonight, I think I'll do a listing of all the supplies for each of the projects with pictures separate. So it'll be like 4 different sheets for you. So hopefully that'll work for you. And I'm going to flip you around so we can get started because we got quite a bit going on. If you've just joined me, please comment, say hello so you can get everything. So hold on. Alrighty. So tonight I've done a few things differently and I'm hoping this helps you. I've had some input from my team and they were like, hey, I need this. Hey, I need this. So I'm trying to do this and that, and within reason, of course. So let's see here. All right, so tonight we're going to overview the new Eden's Garden collection. So here's the flyer for it. It goes live November 2nd and will be live through January 3rd. Hey Pam, how are you? So these are some samples here. I do have a supply list if you want to know how they did these, okay? And then on the back side of the flyer is everything, okay? So we've got, you can order the collection, you can order just the bundle, dies, stamps, paper, cotton paper, which is very similar to tissue paper, doesn't wrinkle quite as much, has a little bit more waxy, and you can stamp on it. Emboss on it is what I would recommend though. So, some new style gems. So you'll be getting one of these flyers if you order with me fairly in the recent future, I guess you would say. So I have the stamps, dies. I ordered the collection, obviously. So I have the stamps, the dies, the gems, so shall we start? So here's the stamps and dies, but what I did instead is I actually took 2 sheets and I'm gonna hold this up. Okay, this one is done twice because that one didn't ink well and I didn't have my Stamparatus. So just, you know, kind of cross this one out. Cross that one out. I didn't do good on that one and I didn't feel like redoing the whole thing over that one because I went like this and I went like this and I was almost done. So there you go. Okay, so this is the stamped stamp set, so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so dear friend, how are you? My heart is tied to yours. Tug if you need anything. I love that. I have a good friend of mine that lost her husband at 50, how old was he? 56, to cancer. And it was like a 1.5 year long struggle this time around. He had gone into remission a couple times. So anyways, so that's perfect for Luris. So anyways, hello there, sending hugs. Let's celebrate everything. Hi Iris, how are you? So as I was saying, just to recap just a tiny bit, since we're not very far in, I won't be doing specific instructions for every single card. I'm going to be doing a list of supplies instead because there's like 4 projects that I have. Okay, so that's what you'll be getting with the email. So this is the stamp set, and then I believe it was Iris that asked me to do this and a few others too, but these are the dies cut out. Okay, so this one is a border, and you had to, it didn't cut off here, meaning this is not a cut. This was the edge of the paper. Okay, so the stitching and the leaves were cut out, but not necessarily the edge. Okay, so that's, it's cool, but just to let you know, ooh, let me get down so you can see it. I'm sorry, I was off the camera. So, so this is more of a border, but I snipped here and I snipped here to cut it off of the page. Okay. All right. This is another framed border. I love this because I'm thinking Autism Day, right? April, I believe, is Autism Awareness. Doesn't that kind of look like a puzzle? So I could totally see this in bright colors and then stamp on this bright colors and have a different bright color and put it back in. That's my idea. Take it or leave it. So we have some leaves here. We have a nice banner that if you did it in a light color, you could stamp here. And I've been racking my brain with what else. I'm like, if you cut this off, it could be a headdress. Like a Coco Cabana, you know, like headdress or something. I don't know. And then last but not least, we have this huge frame. This is the middle of it, punched out. What else can we do with this? I was like, oh my gosh, wouldn't it be great if you could cut, and make a wreath instead, right? Or you cut and do vines, or you cut like any part of the plant, right? So there you go. I mean, this to me, oh my gosh, I would hand this to my daughter and be like, draw stuff. What do you see in the side? So I'm not sure what else, but it's definitely different. So there are the two diagrams for the Eden's Garden. That's the stamps. So if you want a screenshot, make sure I get it all. That's the stamps. Minus that one. And then if you want a screenshot, that's the dies cut out. Okay. Now I didn't leave the negative on this one. I didn't leave the negative around this one. You know, that kind of thing. But hey, okay. So there you go. I hope you liked it. All right. Then we have the designer series paper. So we have, let me get rid of this. We have this pattern. Now, this is mainly soft succulents, evening evergreen, and gold. Okay? Those are the three main colors on this. And then a nice little hatched pattern. I'm like, I don't know what you would call that. Anyways. And then we've got some more leaves because it's a garden, so we're going to have leaves, right? Some more leaves. And then if you flip, another background kind of paper. And this is evening evergreen and soft succulent. It kind of looks brown by the lighting. It's not, I promise. But I'm like, oh my gosh, for masculine cards, right? Oh, okay. So let's see here. So we've got this one. Now there's two in every set, but I must have used, yeah, I did for team projects actually. So there you go. And then we've got this one, more leaves on the back. Leaves, but still could be masculine. This would be pretty as a border inside that other one. So there's that. There's this one, it's got bits of gold in it. So I love the fact that we have metallic or foil paper and still have a back. Ooh, that's different, huh? Minus my corner that came creased. But look, the ombre thing. Oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. Scrapbook pages, Lise. So And then last but not least, gold just vine or leaf. This is with the evening evergreen. I'm sorry my color is not perfect. And then kind of a different but similar pattern to what was on front for that. So thank you, Lise. You know, we usually do that at convention where every time, or on stage now, every time somebody would come in, they'd say, here's the dice cut out. And I, for some reason, just never did it. So I'm sorry, you guys, if I have not been doing what I need to do. But now that I know, it's not a problem. We can fix it. So, all right, so I'm getting the paper out of the way. It's very cute paper. I love the fact that it has a masculine side on the back. So, this is just soft succulent cardstock that I had in the pile. But this is the cotton paper is what they're calling it. It feels very similar to tissue paper. There is a rougher side. There is a slick side, which is why I say probably can't stamp on it, but you could probably emboss on it. Actually, I know that for a fact because I've done it, but that's not what we're doing tonight. It comes in the soft succulent and the evening evergreen. So there's that. You do want to keep the backing with this because it's not going to stand up on a shelf by itself. It's going to crumble. So, okay. So what you guys have probably, oh, hello. Almost forgot. The gems. Where's Lise when I need her? Other Lise. So, the gems are soft succulent and based in cherry cobbler. So kind of seasonal, but look how gorgeous because they're differently shaped. Yay! So, okay. So let's get to some of the projects, shall we? So I had to figure out what I could do with the cotton paper because I was like, okay, the thing like wrinkles super easy and okay, so it's really cute to wrap something in and then you could decorate along the way or the tags or, you know, that kind of thing. Okay, so there's one use for it. I will say I probably wouldn't use it for tissue paper because it's not $1 for like 18 sheets. It's a little bit more than that. So just make sure that whatever you do, it's worth it. Okay. So I just want to make sure I hadn't put anything inside. So this is soft succulent. This is cut at 4 1/4 by 11 and scored at 5 1/2. Okay. And then this is some of the designer series paper. This is cut at 5 1/4 by 4. Okay, and then the base one here, the flip side of this bottom one, that is cut at 5 inches and only down to about 2 1/2, something like that, just enough to cover. Okay, and then this is that cottony paper. Not only can you wet emboss on it, but you can also dry emboss. You have to be stupid careful though, because it gets really fragile. Okay. So you're going to put like a glue dot, and you're going to be super sensitive with it because look, even with the glue dots, it kind of tore, but it is gorgeous. Okay. And then if you follow me on my Wacky Wednesdays, my blog post this morning, you will have seen that I took the Timber 3D embossing folder and I just touched the edges of my pennant, and then I don't know if you can see it or not, but I did take the edge and I colored it with Q-tip or a sponge dauber and did the I believe it was the evening evergreen because soft succulents barely showed up, and I just touched it just a little bit just to bring a little bit to it. So that's another way for you to use your embossing folders too, is just to touch your edges to give an accent. Okay, and then obviously stamped it and whatnot. So there's 2 projects, and then you're like, but wait, there were 3 or 4, right? Well, 3. Okay, so what I've done is I've already cut out And yeah, I picked Mossy Meadow. I'm not sure why, but I already cut out from the artistic dies. I cut out leaves. Now, if you wanted more autumn leaves, I wanted more vine kind of stuff to kind of go with the theme. But if you wanted more autumn leaves, then get a set with autumn leaves in it, right? Okay. So, and then I also cut out in cherry cobbler and in gold to tie it all together, right? Okay. So I've got a piece of thick basic white cardstock cut at 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. Okay. And then I have a piece of the cottony paper, and I believe this is cut at 5 by 3 3/4. Okay. And then I'm going to grab my piece. All right, so I have a question. Hatch side up or this, or the leaf side up for the background? So this is gonna be the outer mat underneath, and then this is gonna go over, okay? So you're just gonna see just like that much of it. So this way, leaves, or hatch is what I'm calling this. Okay, I got one for hatch. I like the hatch too. Leaf. Ah! Oh my gosh. Hey, guess what? Let's just do half and half. How's that? Ha ha ha. We can do this, huh? All right, so I'm going to keep my gems nearby. And we're going to go half-half. It's just that simple. So, if I cut this at 5 1/4, let's see if this works or if the triangles are going to be opposite. I'm not sure. 5 1/4 by 4. All right, and then I'm going to take point to point, and we're going to keep our fingers crossed that this works. Otherwise, I got to cut another piece. No, did it work? No, it didn't work. Okay, so if I did that, then this is on the fly, me trying to think. So forgive me if it's not working exactly, but hey. And then when I, come back and go, why don't I have any of the paper? Here's why. So, talking about paper, I took all my matte packs and I undid them all. What does that mean? That means I have a whole bunch of loose mats that are available to you at 10 cents each or 12 for $1. There's designer series paper, there's memories and more, there's all kinds of stuff. So that'll work, huh? So we're gonna do half and half. There we go. So now I have enough for another card. There we are, huh? Okay, so we're gonna grab here and we're gonna put this one down like so, hopefully, if I can see correctly. Okay, and then I want that pattern up, so I'm gonna go opposite. Okay, and we're gonna line this up so, and it's gonna be extremely crooked, and that is okay. And I'm gonna do a tiny bit of a gap, so maybe it won't look so crooked, right? So, all right, so there we go. There's your leaf, there's your hatch, okay? So what am I doing with this, right? So what else can we do with this besides wet emboss, dry emboss? Can't really stamp on it, right? So here's what I'm doing with it. We're just gonna chuck it, right? No, I'm just teasing. What I am gonna do is do this a bunch of times And I'm creating texture. I'm not crumpling paper. No, I am creating texture. I know y'all think I've lost it, right? But it's okay. I got a little tear down there. Oh well. So there's my texture that's gonna go over. I'm gonna grab my glue dots because that's about the only thing you can do. And I'm actually gonna put them on here. So I'd touch that paper the least amount possible. If that gap bugs you, you can put a ribbon across. You can do all kinds of things. You could die cut one of those borders. So we're just going to put a bunch. Should be enough. It's a lightweight paper. And what I'm going to do is grab here and just place down. Just that simple. Okay? If I have spots that are sticking up like that, I'm gonna put another glue dot down. You're like, but John, you can't just do that. No, I got more. It's okay. So the cutouts I had already done from, I really don't like those leaves. That is the wrong color. Ah! I thought it would be okay and it would be dark enough to offset, but I don't like it now. So there we go. There's our flower. Then I'm gonna do like that. What do you think? Different, right? So I'm gonna grab a couple glue dots. And I'm gonna go, actually here. I know. Ooh, it's sticking to my finger more than the paper. That's not good. Okay, gonna grab a couple here. Stick to the paper, please. Grab a couple here. Okay. And this is gonna go, well, which way does it go? Yeah. If you keep turning it, eventually it'll be right, right? All right, I want the rose kind of up. So we're gonna do like this. Why did I put the glue dots in the middle? Because I'm gonna eventually put a little pennant thing with some words, I think, right there in the middle. So I'm gonna put across here, maybe, put across there. That's why you try to keep your fingers out of the glue dots. Out, okay. And then I'm going to shadow this one. What do y'all think? So far, so good? Different on the texture, right? So now I'm gonna grab, looks like I need a piece of scrap white to pull that other, right? But first I need to tack that corner down. Okay. Thankfully that had leaves. Hold on a second. I'm dropping dimes. I'm just teasing. But what I am doing is grabbing from my scrap pile. And I was looking for my words. So, hello there, dear friend, how are you? Or sending hugs. That is a big die. Yeah, it is. I love it though. It makes it, especially if you do the adhesive on the back, all you gotta do is stick it down. Imagine doing that in Christmas colors, right? Done. Okay? So which words? Dear friend, hello, or sending hugs? But I am gonna move these leaves because they're the wrong color. Unfortunately. Sending hugs. Okay. So, grabbing my block. And I'm going to stamp it in Evening Evergreen to pull out that green. Oop. Do it up here so you guys can see it. Okay. And then I'm going to grab my everyday label, or once you see the punch, you'll go, yeah, hold on. I love that everything is within like a stone's throw. Now, normally would I die cut? Yeah, but I don't have my machine out, you know, all that fun stuff. So I'm just going to do a quick punch. Okay. And I'm going to grab some dimensionals to really get those words to pop. 1, 2, we're going to do one more. 3. Okay, we're going to go right in the middle where those glue dots are. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So right in the middle here. And then we gotta grab some of those new gems, right? I mean, come on. So we're gonna go on the cherry cobbler side to pull in that red. And you can see just the undertone of it is a little bit of that cherry cobbler. And then I'm gonna grab some smaller and just have them stick to my finger instead. No. And just stick them around randomly. Make sure we have an odd number, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do 2 more. 2 more, 2 more. Remember that just because you have a gem there does not mean it is magically going to stick, because there's not necessarily going to be glue dots underneath it. So there you go. That's a pretty card. I'm pretty happy with that texture too. So there's a couple different ideas with how you do things with that new cotton paper that we have. So let's get a screenshot of all the projects. I hope you guys liked the overview of Eden's Garden with the new stamp guide and die cut guide that I did. I hope that helps you. So, like I said before, when you've commented, I will email you the list of everything I used for these. And thanks again. Join me, follow me, stampingwithjohnny.com, and have a great evening. Thank you. Bye-bye.